Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Louise and I run the Life with Scoliosis blog and vlog, where I blog and vlog about my life and experiences of living with scoliosis. So as May is Mental Health Awareness Month, I thought I'd do a video all about scoliosis and body confidence. Scoliosis is a spinal condition, and in my case I have scoliosis in the shape of an S, which means that my spine curves to the side in the shape of an S. It's a chronic condition, which means it's something that I have to live with forever. There are many symptoms associated with scoliosis, such as pain and stiffness, but a symptom that is very important but isn't often talked about is the impact of scoliosis on body image, body confidence and overall mental health. I'd say the main reason for this is because scoliosis often develops in teenagers, it's more common in girls, and it's commonly develops between the ages of 10 and 15 when a teenager has a growth spurt. When I was diagnosed at 14, when I first found out about my scoliosis, I was absolutely horrified because in my mind it made me different from everybody else. I hated how I looked, I hated my back, I hated seeing it in photographs, I hated looking in the mirror, and it really affected me, and even to this day I feel like it's had a lasting impact on my confidence and how I see myself as well. So I think it's a really important issue to talk about, especially for teenage girls, because it's a time when teenagers are very aware of their bodies and how they look, and it can be really difficult. When I was a teenager, there's so many things I missed out on because of my scoliosis, because I was afraid to show my back. Things like swimming and activities where my back would be on show basically, and I would avoid wearing certain clothes as well. So when I was in my 20s, I had scoliosis surgery to correct my scoliosis, and while it did correct my scoliosis to some extent, I still have a curved spine, I still have uneven shoulders and uneven ribs to this day. And so whilst the surgery was successful and it corrected my scoliosis a lot, it didn't fix it 100%. So following the surgery, it's something that I've had to come to terms with in terms of scoliosis, and the physical symptoms are something that I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life. Over the years I've learnt various ways of dealing with my scoliosis and how it affects my body confidence and body image. So I really wish I could go back in time and give these tips to my 14-year-old self, but instead I thought I would make a video and hopefully these tips will help somebody else out there who's struggling with this. So these are my top 5 tips for dealing with scoliosis and body confidence. Tip number 1 is, please don't let your scoliosis stop you from doing things that you want to do. I honestly can't tell you the amount of times that I have not done something because of my scoliosis, or avoided certain activities because of my scoliosis, avoided certain clothes. It's really difficult, I think, especially when you're a teenager, and it can be really hard, but I'd say just try not to avoid things because of your scoliosis, because in the future you'll look back and regret the things that you didn't do. I know that I do, and I wish that I could go back and tell myself to just wear the clothes that I want to wear and be myself, because you know, life is short and you should really try and just be happy and not let your scoliosis stop you from doing things. Tip number 2 is to stop worrying about what other people think. So this one I still need to work on myself, but I think over the years I've come to realise that the majority of people won't notice your scoliosis. I know to you and to me, my scoliosis seems really obvious, and at one point it was all I ever focused on, and I thought everybody must be looking at my back, everybody must be, you know, staring at me and noticing it. But what I've come to realise is the majority of people are more concerned with their own problems, their own lives, their own bodies, and they're not going to be necessarily looking at you. And even if they are, they're probably not noticing your back, because most people aren't walking around thinking about other people's backs. So try not to let what others think stop you from living your life. Most people won't notice. I've had very close friends and partners in the past that have not even noticed, and I've had severe scoliosis, a double curvature of over 80 degrees, and people have not noticed unless I've actually physically shown them or told them about it. So my tip 2 is to just not worry about what other people think. My third tip is to remember that scoliosis makes you unique. Your scoliosis makes you who you are, and it might make you different, but what I've come to realise is I don't want to be the same as everybody else anyway. I like the fact that my scoliosis gives me a unique and interesting story to tell people. Most people, when I meet them for the first time and I tell them about my scoliosis, are genuinely interested and curious, and they want to know more. Nobody I've met has seen it as a negative thing, so it makes you interesting, so you should share your story and be proud. Tip 4 is to remember that everybody has body hang-ups. People without scoliosis have things that they don't like about their own body that they might be focusing on, that might make them avoid doing certain things or wearing certain things. Your scoliosis doesn't define who you are. Instead, if it really does bother you, try to focus on things that you do like about yourself rather than focusing on the scoliosis all the time. Just remember that you are you, and don't compare yourselves to other people. And my final tip, tip number 5, is to learn to love and embrace your scoliosis. So over the years, I've gone from feeling completely ashamed of my scoliosis, not telling anybody about it, hiding my body under baggy hoodies, to feeling proud, and now I've got to a stage where I'm okay with talking about scoliosis on YouTube, on social media, sharing pictures of my back and my x-rays on social media. For me, this is a big thing. It's something that when I was a teenager, I would have been absolutely horrified. I didn't want anybody to know because it made me different. But I think a lot of it is mindset, and I've shifted from feeling like that to feeling proud. And you know, now I think that my scoliosis makes me who I am. It makes me strong, it makes me different, but that's a good thing. And I now dedicate quite a lot of my time in raising awareness, trying to help other people deal with their scoliosis, and that has given me purpose, and it's put a positive spin on it for me. And now it helps me to accept the fact that, you know, what I'm living with is a chronic condition. So it's all about how you frame it, your mindset, and rather than hating your scoliosis, if you can learn to love and accept your scoliosis and who you are, then you'll be in a much healthier place. I think as well, with having scoliosis, it's also important to be kind to yourself and talk about yourself and to yourself kindly. I know when I was a lot younger, as a teenager, I used to call myself some horrible names that I won't repeat here to describe myself and my scoliosis, because I hated it so much, and I hated myself so much. But repeating that to myself over the years has had a very detrimental effect on my mental health. So instead of saying mean things about yourself, call yourself strong, a warrior, be proud of who you are, and yeah, just be kind to yourself. Be proud and love your body. After all, it's the only one you've got. I really hope this video was useful to somebody out there. If it was, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I upload regular videos all about scoliosis and my life with scoliosis. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.